Van Gogh's portrait of Dr. Gatchet is one of the most influencing and sought-after pieces of art from the Expressionist movement. In 1937, the Reich's Ministry of Public Enlightenment and Propaganda seized the portrait in an effort to rid Germany of degenerate art. Siegfried Komarski eventually came in possession of the priceless work and fled with it to Leipzig and then later New York. This groundbreaking expressionist work was seen as degenerate and not along with Hitler's ideal artwork, yet was saved by the efforts of individuals who valued it as a masterpiece it is.
Vincent van Gogh was born in Groot Zundert on the 30th of March, 1853. Van Gogh was raised an art dealer while taking positions in a cathedral. However, Van Gogh was not a great art dealer and instead turned to teaching art. Against his father's wishes, young Van Gogh became an artist. Though he only ever sold one piece of art, it was monumental to the movement of contemporary art. Van Gogh's work contained vibrant and symbolic colors, with brash lines, which expressed the moods of his subjects. His art is world famous now, yet only after his death. Sadly, Van Gogh's art career only lasted for 10 years as he suffered from schizophrenia and ultimately took his life. During his 10 years of being an artist, Van Gogh was undoubtedly unsuccessful, selling zero paintings. After his contemporary art was finally appreciated and his pieces were sold to museums and private collections. When he was checked into a mental hospital, Van Gogh met the subject of his piece we will discuss, Dr. Gatchet. Vincent van Gogh is considered the quintessential troubled artist, tragically becoming famous only after his death on July 29, 1890. It is rumored that it was his brother who shot him during a duel, but it is considered a suicide gunshot that took his life.
Paul Ferdinand Gatchet was born July 30th, 1828 in Lille. He achieved a bachelor's associate's degree at the University of Montpellier in Paris, France, then was later awarded a medical degree after working in two mental clinics. Vincent van Gogh's brother introduced Dr. Gatchet to Vincent, as he saw them as a good fit since Dr. Gatchet had treated artists before. After treating Van Gogh, and Van Gogh's suicide shortly after they became friends, Gatchet was criticized. Yet physicians today realize Gatchet did all he could with an unfamiliar disease and a very difficult patient.
The portrait of Dr. Gatchet is one of Van Gogh's most famous pieces for a number of reasons. Painted in the last few months of Van Gogh's life, the piece shows his caretaker, Paul Gatchet, in a mournful state. Van Gogh began with an etching before going on to make two portraits of Dr. Gatchet. The piece holds the distinction as Van Gogh's most expensive painting to be sold at auction. As a companion piece, another portrait of Dr. Gatchet, yet the first piece is widely considered to be better. In front of Gatchet is some foxglove, from which the medicine digitalis is derived. Van Gogh wrote that Gatchet's pose reflects the docile expression of our time. The colors in this portrait are dark and severe, not surprising considering the intensive state of Van Gogh's life at the point of creation. The painting illustrates the depression in Van Gogh's life, as he uses blue colors in one version to show the sadness. The second version is painted with different shades of blue and more abstract. The second painting is regarded as worse than the original, but he used one of the best painting techniques of his career. It was unusual that Van Gogh decided to use the etching for the painting, as most of his paintings were painted directly onto the canvas. The palette is macabre, and the brushstrokes fit a jigsaw-like puzzle, and it is somewhat crude on the sides.
For Germany, Hitler decided that under his rule, contemporary art would be ridiculed by his entire population. Expressionist art displays things as they are, not as they should be, and Hitler preferred the latter. Art such as this looked to Hitler like a dangerous depiction of the human condition, not the bold and muscular young men which he preferred in his art. In 1937, as part of the Reich's Ministry of Public Enlightenment and Propaganda, Van Gogh's painting of Dr. Gatchet was stolen by Nazi forces. The piece came into the possession of Hermann Göring, commander of the Luftwaffe and distinguished war hero. Göring played an instrumental part in assembling the Nazi state police. He most likely cared for the masterpiece and saw its value. In 1939, Hermann Göring sold the piece to Franz Koenig in Paris, who later had the painting moved from Paris to New York. A German man named Siegfried Kramarski fled Germany to New York, and the painting came into his custody. Kramarski often lent the painting to the Museum of Metropolitan Art. Kramarski's family put the painting up for auction at Christie's, where it sold for a record price of $82 million to Ray Sato. Sato was the honorary chairman of Daishiwa Paper Company. Though Sato considered giving the piece to the Japanese government for display, the location of the painting is currently unknown. However, it has been rumored that it was owned by Wolfgang Flodel before he went through financial troubles and sold the painting to an unknown buyer.
Van Gogh is regarded worldwide as the quintessential master of the Expressionist movement. Nazi officials saw the Expressionist art movement as degenerate and not ideal for the public's eyes. Had the public seen it exhibited as a beautiful piece alongside other Expressionist pieces, they might have felt it resonate in themselves with the displays of emotion so common in Expressionist pieces. Instead, Hitler wanted to deceive the public into considering what he thought was the ideal form of ideal. This included muscular men and slim women, short-cut hair and blue eyes. Hitler wanted to convey to his subjects that this is what was right. Expressionist paintings conveyed too often reality, a reality that Hitler wanted erased. This was a huge part of his public propaganda endeavor. The portrait of Dr. Gatchet displays human despair and confusion along with melancholy colors, which accents the truth of mental health problems. Similar to the schizophrenia Van Gogh was experiencing, paintings like this strike at the real human emotions, something very essential in masterful art. Hitler's ideal art is deceptive and leads to false image of the human condition.